website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. A really cool question here that allows me or gives me a chance to tell you something important, very important. 2 years is nothing, this guy writes underneath one of my YouTube videos because I'm talking about how long time it really takes to get your skill level to the highest point. And he says 2 years is nothing. He can totally deal with that. But as a father, I do not have 4 hours a day. More than 1 is not feasible. Did you just say I will never leave mediocre level in my life? I guess when we're talking guitar playing. And the answer is yes. There is no way in that you are going to rise to the highest level of what you can do on this instrument by spending 1 hour a day on it. I'm sorry, but we have to wake up to that fact. We have to stop kidding ourselves and saying, okay, I'm practicing for 1 hour a day. But we have to really realize, what does mastery really take? It takes an obsession. And if you look at the day like that and say, okay, how many hours are you spending at work? 8 hours? 10 hours? How many hours are you spending on your family and your children? Right? 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours? How many hours are you spending on sleep? And how many hours are you spending on guitar? How is that 1 hour out of 24 ever going to represent something that becomes something else than mediocre? It's not. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. It would be amazing if we could create magic in just 1 hour a day. That 1 hour a day, though, can be the focused hour where you work with the metronome, if we're talking about techniques, or you work with focused practicing and really go into something that really requires your singular focus. But then you have to have some TV time where you can sit down and do repetitive patterns over and over and over again and really get to the level. Because, we can learn chords and we can learn rhythms in 1 hour a day. But to take those skills to the expert level or the advanced or the mastery level, as I preferably call it most often, because mastery is unconscious and you can do it. It's so easy that you don't think about it. It takes up no resources in your brain, and so you can certainly play music and focus on the music instead of the skills, right? And you have to take that 1 hour practice to some repetitive back and forth. You can learn to play these 2 chords or 3 chords like this. But if you want to go to the level of and be totally fluent and relaxed, you have to do thousands and thousands of repetitions in front of the TV or talking to your family. But there's some pain involved here because you have to, if you are watching TV and you have to practice while you do it, your wife, spouse might not like that. They might say, could you stop practicing all the time? It's annoying. And so you have to say, I can't stop practicing all the time. In fact, it's one of the most important things in my life. So you have to push through that pain, that people around you have to get along with you, even though you're putting this on the highest shelf. Because if you just try to please everybody all the time, right? Oh, you might say, I want to get to bed 1 hour earlier. Every single night, I'm going to bed at 9 instead of 11, so I get 2 hours more sleep, and then I'm getting out of bed 2 hours earlier, and I'm practicing there. People might say, oh, but I want to have your company in the evening. I want you to stare at that box with me, that TV. Oh, it's not a box anymore, that flat screen with me. Even though we're not talking, but she said, that's not productive hours. I would rather convert those to very awake, very productive guitar practicing hours. You're going to feel some resistance from that because people don't like that. In fact, whatever you do to build your skills outside of that little room of 1 hour or 30 minutes, people won't like that. If you go around constantly visualizing scale shapes, you're in the meeting with, at work and you're visualizing scale shapes, you're doing picking motions, people are going to say, what are you doing with your hand? Why are you never conscious? Why are you never focused on what we're doing here? You are going to feel that resistance from people around you, or the teachers at school if you go to school. My son was shuffling cards for 3 years while he went to school, and the teachers hated it. He said, get those cards away. Get them away. We don't want to see them in school. And whenever he got home and he said, I can't bring my playing cards to school anymore, I said, to heck with it. Just conceal it. Hide it under the table. You have to have in those millions of repetitions by doing it all the time. Keep a practice guitar, a junior guitar, and in your car so you can practice 15 minutes before you start driving home. Do everything you can to get as many hours in there as possible, and face the pain of people trying to keep you from it. Why are they trying to keep you from it? Because that's how it is, right? We all want you. They don't want to lose anything, and they sure as don't want to see you become that amazing player, because they might lose you, because you might, get new friends and you might play in another band, so they try to, speed isn't everything, or whatever they tell you to keep you in their group, right? And if your skill level increases 1,000%, would you still play with the same people? Would you, right? So any development is terrifying for other people, so they're trying to pull you back. So there's a lot of things you have to face, but you are willing to face those things if you get serious about practicing and playing guitar. And serious means that you are willing to sacrifice something, right? And I'm not talking about sacrificing the time with your kids, but you need to study the 2-step method I'm promoting all the time with the metronome in the room closed, and then you must practice. If you have your hands free, practice, right? On an electrical guitar with not plugged in, you must practice. And if you're sitting in a couch or sitting at a chair talking to your spouse or whatever, and you're not practicing while you do it, you're wasting your time, basically, relatively speaking. Even though people find you annoying, if people don't find you annoying, I can tell you with absolute certainty that you're not going to develop out of mediocrity. Because how would you ever, by doing something mediocre, develop something extraordinary? It has to be extraordinary action. So it has to be out of the ordinary. And people are going to find that unreasonable because it's not ordinary, because it's not what everybody does. The neighbor doesn't do that. His husband doesn't do that. His wife doesn't do that. So why should you? Right? So it's always connected to some kind of pain, but you're totally willing, like playing a football game. If you really want to win, you're going to bruise your knee. You're going to be exhausted from sprinting like a crazy person when you need to, right? There's lots of pain there, but you don't care about that pain because you're building something magical. Oh, you're winning something magical. I hope you can relate. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.